What's going on? This is Wild Fed Family, and I am making Sunday dinner right now. Now, I'm gonna be taking a part of the turkey that people sometimes find pretty invaluable, and that's gonna be the super tough wings and the legs. Now, I'm gonna turn them into an awesome dinner, so if you like turkey and you like a little bit of Cajun flavor, you're in for the right video. So, I'm gonna go inside and we're gonna start making Wild Turkey Pastalaya. So the very first thing I'm gonna do is, while I'm getting all the prep work done and cutting vegetables, I got right behind me some bacon that is browning up. And the bacon came from our pigs. And matter of fact, if you wanna see how that was made, I got a video on that too. So I will add it in the description, card, end screen, whatever it may be. All right, so I just cooked down the bacon, and I would say about 75% of the fat has rendered out, but I don't wanna waste all that good flavor. So here, in the pot is all of the bacon grease, and I'm gonna use that to make a roux. Now, all I'm gonna be doing is taking a little all-purpose flour, adding it, and slowly toasting this flour until it is a nice caramel/coffee color. This right here is the consistency you're looking for, just kind of smooth but thick, and it also fills itself in. Take your time with this and keep it on low heat, stirring it every 30 seconds or so, because you do not want to burn this. Once you burn it, it's too late. You got to start over again. So right now I got this roux to a dark caramel color, and I'm gonna go ahead and dump it out in a separate bowl and let it cool. Now, if I were doing something like a gumbo, I'd let it get a little bit darker, but right here for this pastalaya, I would say the color that you're looking at right now is what I want. And yeah, I'm gonna put it in a bowl, let it cool down, and I'm doing that for two different reasons, and I'm about to show you why. So a little pro tip, make sure when you're making this roux, go ahead and factor in making a little extra bacon, because I spent about 45 minutes making this and I was snacking on the bacon the whole time. So just make a little extra, plus that 45 minutes is well worth it, because making that and spending the time on it is going to take it from good to great. And it's just the perfect addition to add a little bit of authentic Cajun flavor. Spend time on your roux and you're gonna be blown away. So while the roux is cooling, I took advantage of this free time to do two things. Now, one, I went ahead and I rinsed out the Dutch oven and that pot that I'm using to get all of the excess flour out of there, because I'm gonna have a little bit of high heat to go ahead and sear this turkey. The second thing is I got all of my vegetables prepped. Now, for any good Cajun dish, you're gonna wanna have these three things. You need some celery that I'm gonna dice up at about anywhere from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Next, I got some onion. And for this, I'm using sweet Vidalia onions because we have a ton of them here in Georgia and they are cheap and they are delicious. Next, I threw in 2 bell peppers and I diced them up in about 1/2 inch squares. But that's not it. I added a shallot that I split in half and sliced up thinly. And then I also added some fresh, rough chopped garlic, and yeah, that's pretty much it for your vegetables, and that's going to put the extra kick on it with the addition of 2 other things. But let me introduce you to the star of the show. Now, this is a wild turkey leg and a wild turkey wing, and when you're doing it, also make sure that you get all of these little pellets out. I did find one, but you don't want that caught in between your teeth while you're sitting down at the dinner table. As you can see, there is a ton of tendons and sinews and silver skins in these wild turkey legs. Now, they're not like what you get from the fair. Wild turkeys are running and getting away from predators and on their feet all day, every day. And they're a lot older than a 6-month turkey that you typically eat from the grocery store. So we gotta do a little bit of some extra care to make sure that these turn into broken down, tender, really delicious cuts of meat. But that silver skin, sinews, tendons, cartilage, all of that is going to help to build excellent flavor, and probably better flavor than you would get from the grocery store. So this right here is the reason why I let this roux cool. Now you can see all of the flour has settled to the bottom and the oil or bacon fat has risen to the top. We're going to use that bacon fat to brown up the turkey. So the turkey is browned up and there's just a few more steps left. Now that bacon that I cooked earlier is going right on top of that turkey. Sprinkle it in, you're done. Next is everything that I chopped up, the shallots, the garlic, the green bell pepper, the celery, and the onion. It's all going right in the pot. The next thing going in is going to be a quart of chicken stock. Next ingredient is some cubed up tomatoes right off the vine. Now this one isn't typical. I got some sliced white mushrooms and I love the flavor of mushrooms in a gumbo, jambalaya, pastalaya. This is what I'm going with. And here is one lemon that is cut in half and I'm just squeezing the juice over the top of it. Now, that roux has to go in too, and this is pretty solidified right now. So I'm gonna scoop in a few dollops right on top of this. But a Cajun dish would not be what it is without a bunch of Cajun seasoning, and this makes it super easy for me. Now this is the McCormick's Bayou Cajun seasoning, and this is by far my favorite. I've used it for years. No affiliation to them. It's just really good stuff. So I'm gonna give it a healthy dose and go from there. Needs a good mix, and then we'll keep on going. So I'm gonna keep this fairly mild because I have a wife and children that aren't huge spice fans, but there is some ground cayenne powder that came from the peppers in the garden. Now I keep telling you one more thing, but there is one last thing, and that is some andouille sausage. Now I'm gonna put that over the top of it because here's why. While it is braising in the oven, I want all that sausage to just drip that sausage goodness over the top of the vegetables and essentially baste it from the top down. Now if all that seemed complicated, this is the easiest part. Put a lid on it and stick it in the oven and let it braise at 225 degrees until that turkey is completely pulled apart. Now, I got a bunch of stuff I'm gonna go do outside and hang out with the kids, and this is gonna be doing all the slow cooking and work for me in the meantime. I'll see you in a couple hours. So now that this has all been stewed down for at least 2 to 3 hours while we've been busy doing a bunch of other stuff, I'm gonna pull it out, I'm gonna pick the bones, and we're gonna add the meat and the skin and all of the good stuff back into this pastalaya. All right, so here's the deal. This is cooking down right here. All of the turkey I have pulled off the bone. That is the bone pile, and this is what I'm talking about, all these little tiny tendons. Make sure you cook it down to the point where it peels off. So I'm gonna add this back to the pastalaya, let it cook down. I'm gonna add some noodles, and we're gonna eat dinner. Smile. And the final course is up top. Hey, pasta. I got some shells in here. We're gonna dump a bunch in there and let it soak up all of the extra liquid. So this right here is the final product. So if you're thinking about cooking wild turkey, especially the legs and the wings, I suggest doing a slow cook. Pastalaya is probably one of the best ways to go, but all I want to say is try this out. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I will see you on the next video because I'm really tired and I'm really hungry. So, see ya.